Hey everybody, it's Ghoul here. I am here with team skill issues because a certain member of ours was the Materia Cup winner for Melbourne. Paul, why don't you go and introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, Paul here. Um, yeah, I was given the spoiler for Gunslinger of the Abyss. Using the Cat 4 Rydia Una deck, I'm sure a lot of people truly love playing that deck, well, variants of it. But yeah, I decided to allow my teammates to discuss and break down the card on Red Lantern Superman's stream. Over to you guys.
Yeah, so this is Khalil or Red Lantern Superman's YouTube channel and or stream. Khalil, why don't you give a quick little introduction to yourself real quick before we talk about the spoiler?
Hey, it's your favorite not angry boy.
And what do you usually talk about or stream, Khalil?
I usually do FF major events here in Australia, just try and get as much content out there. I do a few box openings and do ratio stuff just with the boxes and a few judge things. I also do some video games if you're interested in that. Stay tuned.
All right, and we have a couple other members of Team Skill Issues. Would they like to introduce themselves as well?
Hi there, this is Bloodfist. I play cards of the trading variety for Final Fantasy. I sometimes do good in events.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Uh, I use the name Vesper when I play, and yeah, I'm kind of on a slight hiatus during this meta, but really happy that Yuna's getting some love.
Ugh, all right.
More on
So,
that in a moment.
I guess real quick, Khalil, why don't you go ahead and show everybody why they're actually here? Let's get that spoiler up on the video for everybody.
Alright, we have ourselves a Lightning Forward Angeal, 7 cost 9k. When Angeal enters the field, choose up to 2
And
drop
Jill.
soldiers. And don't at me.
Khalil
Choose.
doesn't play Final Fantasy. He doesn't know the character names. You got to make fun of him for it a little bit.
Yeah, Cloth is my favorite Final Fantasy VII character, okay? I love the hair. Choose up to 2 job soldiers in your break zone, add them to your hand. Then it has an action ability, lightning, and 1 generic. Play 1 job soldier of 4 cost or less from your hand onto the field. You can only use this ability once per turn. And importantly, he himself is a job soldier.
Yeah, it's definitely a really interesting card. I remember my initial reaction to this is it's powerful. It's really strong, uh, especially especially towards the beginning of the set and in L3 especially. I know soldiers are everywhere. They're like one of the best decks in the game, and Shield mostly slots in pretty nicely with one exception, which is going to be I don't know where you're making room for lightning and soldiers right now.
So my sort of thought process on this card is it's a high cost card, yes, but getting the 2 cards back basically turns it into a 3 CP 9k, which is not bad. Most importantly though is that you could play those soldiers off turn. So if you somehow have some really powerful soldier that you want to flash in during your opponent's turn that interacts with your opponent in some fashion, this Angeal allows for that. It caters for it. So, say for example, Opus 3 Genesis, you could flash that in during your opponent's combat, lock down a forward, block another.
I mean, also notably, the Genesis Legend from Opus 23, I think is like one of the strongest cards that like just does not see enough play for how strong that card is. And Angela allows you to proc it on your opponent's turn, which is wild, actually. It is very hard to make your opponent discard on their own turn. And Angeal does allow you to do that in a way off of that Genesis, and Genesis plays very well with the Angeal because you reduce Angeal's cost by 3. Now you cost 4. He picks up 2 soldiers. He kind of is a free forward at that point, which is absolutely wild.
And he can pick up another copy of himself and you can kind of loop with him as well, right?
Yeah, he doesn't say other than card name Angeal,
Yeah.
which is great. So one other nice thing about him is the 2 baby soldiers from last set, the Matt and Lucia, are both off color for the traditional soldier colors because Lucia's in wind and Matt's in water. So the fact that Angel kind of pseudo color fixes them for you is actually huge. And honestly, I don't think there's a non-zero chance. Lucia does activate forwards, by the way. Fun
Well,
fact.
that's in addition to that, with your like speaking about Matt actually, say for example, your opponent's unit decides it wants to dull two of your forwards. You just use Andiel, flash in Matt, not today, sir.
Wait, is Matt actually? Matt says can't be targeted. He doesn't say they have to target him.
Cannot be targeted by abilities, I believe the wording is.
Double check that. That actually is relevant.
That's extremely relevant. So that's some
Cannot be
additional
chosen.
spice.
Yes. So that
Yep.
means that you can kind of use it to back attack in targeting protection for your soldiers, which is very strong actually.
Incredible.
And as you guys have sort of implied, but I'd rather like pointed out, because this is an dull ability, you can use it on your opponent's turn immediately after playing it.
Both turns.
Yep.
There's no timing restriction on it.
Yes.
There's no during the main phase. There's no during your turn only. They
And summoning
really,
sickness is irrelevant.
yeah. Like I think the biggest issue is going to be figuring out the color thing, because again, kind of soldiers historically have been kind of fire ice for the most part, with maybe like a bit of like an earth splash. They didn't really want to go into lightning, but if you can find a way to make it work, this is a pretty good reason to do so. I think the other weakness, obviously, is he does have the classic problem, which
Name
is
clash?
he does not like Miss Dragon or Amaterasu.
Oh, okay.
He sort of likes Amaterasu a little bit. It doesn't like the card obviously, but at the very least he survives it. One important thing to note as well is that the Opus 4 restrictor is a job soldier, so you could use the Angeal, get back that, and then you can also just use the Angeal to play and then start your backup search chain into the Sviets. So it's a very strong push into an Ice Lightning Soldiers build from that perspective. Plus, they've also started going in that direction anyway with the new Zac from Opus 25. So I feel like going in towards Ice Lightning with the Soldier build, this Angeal probably pushes it over the edge.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I
playing
still imagine
playing
you have to be
backup.
on some amount of fire for Glenn, but like I could they try like, of the tricolor wedges, like fire, ice, lightning kind of is its own wedge in the game in the same way that it kind of like four is its own little wedge
It's
kind of.
it's got its own little corner of the internet.
Yeah, like for some reason, like you can color fix that a lot easier than you could color fix. I don't know, like wind, lightning, water would be like a weird one to like color fix. Like same type of like, but like yeah, ice, lightning, fire. There's a lot of ways to kind of make that work. It is interesting. It's four or less. There's not a lot of four cost soldiers that are great. Like Light Cloud comes to mind as a card that like would sort of pay for itself coming in off of this.
Actually, nearly all of the, with the exception of Genesis, I think, and Glenn as well, I think all of the powerful soldiers are 4 cost or less, so you could play pretty much all of them.
Yeah, you could play all of them. It's just like it is kind of funny though that a lot of them are not. Um, what's the word? Like when I think of like the soldiers I want to play Matt. I want to play Lucia. I want to play like Pod Cloud, and it feels like the extra three or the 3 and 4 are kind of wasted. I guess Sephiroth's most of them would be 4 costs. Either Baby Sephiroth or the 22 Legend would be really nice for sure.
Well, you don't even need to focus on the soldiers you can play off him as well. Like getting 2 back that are just strong, even if they cost 5 or more, is still pretty good. And because it's 2 of them, you can get 1 and 1.
Yeah.
Something
I
I
do
don't think
think
was
that-
mentioned is that you could pod the Angel away for Glenn.
It's huge.
Oh yeah, that
Yep.
is actually very and you can kind of back attack in the cloud on the opponent's turn to make it even harder to kill it, which is Glenn pot into Glenn, and then Glenn can search another copy of Angeal off of that because Glenn doesn't have to search cards he plays.
So you may not need to actually focus hard onto fire as much. You could just pod the Angeal into Glenn, find another Angeal, play another Angeal, get 2 more soldiers back, start looping them that way. It's some beautiful, beautiful madness.
So
I
yeah,
like that it can
very
play
very
backups.
strong, very interesting card. Looking forward to seeing some of the brews. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't need to jump in there.
I was gonna say I like that it can play backups. I just find it a shame that one of the better soldier backups is named Angeal.
Yeah,
That's what I was
we'll
thinking
be
with the name clash.
we'll be great in title for that. Actually, soldiers might be one of the best decks in title now that I think about it, thanks to this. But restrictor Narrow Weiss is very relevant for backup play, though. Getting a discount on restrictor could be very nice.
I feel like it's going to be incredibly relevant. As I mentioned, you've got to be pushed towards Ice Lightning, and then you can just splash all of the other soldiers and just roll from there, I would say. The deck seems like it's going to be very interesting moving forwards. I'm not sure how well it's going to fare in the current environment of Standard, but it's always worth a look. It's always worth some
I
interesting
imagine
challenges.
this will be very good in L3.
It's going to
Probably
be
the best deck in L3.
it's going to be phenomenal in L3, and I expect Japan is going to be all over it.
I was just thinking, is there a 6 cost that goes well into Angeal from PodCloud?
I'm not sure.
Barrett?
Let me double check that real quick.
Oh, Barrett, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So you sort of got a mixed bag sort of deck. You just play the Barrett, you search up a whole bunch of Avalanche operative stuff. You could use you could use the Barrett, play Jesse, search for Angeal, play Angeal, get stuff back, roll from there.
Cat 7 soup.
Cat's Cat 7 soup is basically the description of the traditional Final Fantasy player's breakfast. But that's that's neither here or there. I do feel like this is going to be, at the very least, an interesting build around.
There's no timing restriction on the ability, so you can have it for lunch, dinner, anytime.
He knows about supper, doesn't he?
He kind
What
of
a
does look
brunch.
like
Brunch is
Aragorn.
like the best meal.
But what about second main phase?
But what about second main phase? That's the best.
All right. Anyways, definitely, if you haven't already, give Khalil, Red Lantern Superman, a follow here on YouTube or subscribe. And then you also stream on Twitch. Why don't you go ahead and say that real quick for us before we cut for good?
Yeah, I'll be putting everything in the description to help you guys out so you don't have to listen to me talk too long, but it's all Red Lantern Superman. It's all uniform, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. Do have a Discord where we do some events on a Wednesday night, Melbourne, Australia time, and we do just have some chats, spoiler, and people just discuss stuff. So if you want to get into one of the bigger community groups for Australia, you're welcome to find the link in the description below.
As I say, support Australian Final Fantasy TCG, and I think that's going to be it.
Any sayonaras everyone wants to give?
Congrats to Paul again.
Ah, yes,
For,
actually, that's a good point.
Kicking my butt.
He climbed over all the most of the people in this room's corpses to get that win.
He is the true team killer.
All I can say is thank you.
You're welcome, and couldn't happen to a better guy, man. Congrats. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the spoiler. If you have any comments or anything we missed, there's a comments below for that very reason. Yell at us all you like. We love hearing from you guys. Take care.